Hey friend, I want to share with you what's really behind the Hamas War. If you're like me, you've been deeply troubled by the horrifying and brutal attack carried out by Hamas on innocent Jews. The reported acts of violence, including the deaths of babies, beheading of girls, gouging out of men's eyes, and the cutting off of women's breasts, are indicative of a darkness that goes beyond typical warfare behavior. This is a deviation from the norms of violence, suggesting an involvement of powerful and sinister spiritual forces that we sometimes overlook that are in our world. According to the Bible, the enraged dragon Satan, unable to harm Jesus, the man-child, because he escaped to heaven, turned his fury towards Israel, the nation that gave birth to him. And the anger extends to Israel's descendants, Jews, and to those who testify of Jesus, Christians. And I quote Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was angry at the woman Israel and declared war against the rest of her children, Jews, all who keep God's commandment and maintain their testimony for Jesus. That's Christians. That's the New Living Translation. So the rise of antisemitism further indicates a stirring of hatred orchestrated by Satan in his vicious web of fallen angels and demons. Yes, in this spiritual battle, the forces of the world and Antichrist are actively working against Jesus, Israel, and Jesus' followers. There's a sinister plot to oppose and harm God's people, both Jews and Christians, as clearly stated in Revelation 12. Now, Jesus warned us, you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Matthew 24:6. And 1 John 4:3. And every spirit that does not confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have heard was coming, but now is already in the world. So remember, there are evil powers all over the earth, like the prince of Persia, who still rules under Satan's authority over Iran. So I encourage you to discern the deeper forces behind the conflict with Hamas. We must remain vigilant in prayer, knowing that God will fight for his people. So go to your war room and make war against what's really behind the Hamas terrorists and the protests around the world. Continue to pray fervently for the safe return of hostages, the protection of Palestinian civilians, and for God-directed wisdom to guide Israel's military and national leaders. Prayer has the power to make a significant difference in the spiritual realm, the source of these atrocities. It's not only Israel that's engaged in this battle. All of God's people can contribute by fighting against the forces of evil through passionate and intentional and specific prayer. So I pray this helps you understand the forces that are at work. It's not about people. It's not about nations. It's about God's people and what God's doing to combat the evil that comes from Satan and his evil forces. So I hope this helps. God bless.